6 years ago, when I saw a major support or resistance level break, I did what most retail traders do. I eagerly jumped into the breakout thinking I was catching the start of a massive move. Instead, price reversed completely and trapped me at the worst possible price and blew account after account. I lost my entire life savings buying fakeouts. Fast forward to today and I've completely flipped the script. Instead of being the liquidity that gets trapped, I've learned how to accurately differentiate between a real breakout from a deadly fakeout before the move even happens. The turning point for me was discovering how to use the volume profile, the ultimate tool that reveals where smart money is accumulating orders and trapping retail traders. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact rule-based system that I use to identify real breakouts. It requires zero discretion, it's 100% mechanical, and removes all the guesswork. If you are tired of buying the exact top and selling the exact bottom, this is for you. So before we dive in, a quick heads up: trading involves significant risk and isn't suitable for everyone, and most retail traders' accounts lose money. And I'm not a financial advisor, and this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and never trade with money you can't afford to lose. So at the end of this video, you will have an ultimate guide on how to trade exactly when you are facing breakouts or fakeouts. This is going to be really like the cheat code. Guys, more than 80% of you are not subscribed to a channel. If you want to really support us, just hit subscribe. It's completely free. Leave a like and write something nice in the comments. And for this, we're going to use the volume profile and the manipulation candle, because there are going to be some parameters that we want to see on the volume profile, and then align this with the manipulation candle to take the setups. So now this is with my proprietary indicator, but if you don't have it, right here when you have your long and short positions, you can choose the fixed range volume profile. You can click it once and then twice to the price point where you want it, and then what we'll do is we will have it on extend right, and these are my exact settings. You can screenshot this. Quick break here, guys. Most of you are prop firm traders, and today's sponsor is Prop Firm Match, a platform where you can compare different evaluations of different prop firms and see all the rules at one place, and also choose between the platforms you can trade on. In this way, you can easily choose which evaluation suits you the best. So if you are interested, check it out with the link in the description. So now what I want you guys to first of all understand is the value area. So the value area is 70% of transactions within this entire volume profile. Okay, so basically what we did right now is I started the volume profile at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and dragged it all the way to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And between these two yellow lines is so-called the value area. 70% of volume for this entire day until the market open. And what I want you guys to understand here is that we will have high volume nodes and also low volume nodes. So for example, this one is a high volume node and this is also a high volume node, but still if you compare these two, there is a huge difference, right? And right here you would see a low volume node, or for example here as well. So these are just price areas where we can say more volume was traded at these price points or less volume. And it's very important to talk about our two pillars, and these are the following. We want to see value being built at highs to consider longs, and value built at lows to consider shorts. Basically the vice versa for fakeout. If we see that value is not being built, so basically we're seeing less acceptance at highs through the volume profile, then we can say this most likely is going to be a fakeout. And the same goes for lows. If you have watched my masterclass on the volume profile, you will exactly know this is a D-shaped profile where you should look for ping pong, right? So range play. Why is that? So basically with the D-shaped profile, we're seeing that market participants are not happy to transact at these highs and also not at these lows, because we can clearly see that at the high and at the low of this volume profile, there is less volume. And the majority of the volume is concentrated at the center, in the middle. So this is basically a D-shaped volume profile. And if you notice, this is already a really good sign that we are most likely not gonna break out yet. So now I want you guys to pay really close attention to this exact area while I'm playing price, okay? So right here we can see that with this next candle where we are seeing the breakout out of this range here, that value is being built but not close to what we are seeing here. And remember, this is already with market open where most amount of volume comes into the market. And right here you can see directly what happens. We come back into the range. Now I call this the make or break. So now either we're gonna go up or down, but if you look at the volume profile, you will see exactly that right here at the value area high, we have a low volume node, and this is being tested right now, but with no real follow through, right? So we are still ranging and nothing is really happening. No value is being built up here. And what's very, very important is to look at the exact highs as well, because that will tell you the story. Look how the volume profile shape is still basically a letter D, right? The shape is not changing. And I will show you an example where it will change. That's exactly what we want to see when we want to trade a breakout. And now let's see what happens. We go all the way back into the range. And again, what did I tell you guys? If you're seeing the volume profile shape like this, like the letter D, you want to play ping pong. As you can see, nothing's really happening. Nothing is happening. And this is exactly how to avoid fakeouts. And now what I want to talk about is how to identify real breakouts. Quick break here. I've made a complete step-by-step strategy ebook going through all of these setups in detail with areas of interest, how to look for the setups. If you want access, just make sure to join our school community. The link is in the description. First of all, what I want to show you is a bullish example, and then I'll also have a bearish example for you. Again, if you watch the masterclass on the volume profile, you'll see that this is more of a letter P, right? So we have the highest volume at the top of this volume profile. And again, you start the volume profile at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and drag it all the way to the right and always have it on extend to the right. And then you will see that at the lows we have lower volume and the fair value, the value area is at the highs, right? And this is exactly what makes a volume profile shape a letter P. And remember, what did we say? We have two pillars. We want to see value build up at highs so we can take longs. This is exactly what we're seeing now. And now the next candle is going to be 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And now we get the manipulation candle. And look how much more volume is being traded here. So now this is exactly how to get into the breakout setups. This is a perfect breakout scenario, but this is also where most traders do it completely wrong. You can have the best entry but still lose. Without risk management, no strategy is going to work. So first of all, we enter right when this manipulation candle closes, and then we put our stop loss one tick below the manipulation candle. What we do first is we aim for the 1-to-1. At 1-to-1 is our break even point. As soon as price hits the 1-to-1, we will move our stop loss to our entry point, and then we will target a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio for our final take profit. And now we are already at break even since we hit that 1-to-1. And I want you to look at the volume profile while this move is also happening. So you're seeing how much volume is being transacted here. The value area high is constantly going up. The value area low is going up as well. Let's see how the volume profile looks when we hit the take profit. Look at this. The point of control climbed from here all the way up here, and the value area high is now the exact top. And look, we were able to take this entire move to the upside, basically have minimal drawdown while while doing that. So now before I show you the short example on the breakout, let me show you how I trade the fakeouts, how I identify them, and then how I make the most out of them. Because that's exactly the point where most retail traders are getting trapped. So now again, first thing what we're doing is we go to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will draw out the volume profile right here, have it on extend to the right. So what you can see here now is that we have a very balanced profile, right? Because we have a lot of volume up here and also a lot of volume down here. The value area is at lows, okay? So this is already a significant point. A lot of money is being transacted at the lows here. So first of all, what did we always say? We want to see value and range build up at lows for us to take shorts. And then we also want a manipulation candle for the entry confirmation. So now this next candle is going to be market open 9:30 a.m. on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so let's see what happens. We come up, okay, we tap into these lower volume nodes and reject immediately basically and are back inside the value area. And now we get a move to the downside. This looks like a perfect breakout, right? Let's call it a breakdown because it's going down, right? But look at the volume profile. Okay, always look at what happens on the volume profile. And you can clearly see that this is lower volume than this here. We are outside of the value area. And now this profile all of a sudden doesn't look like a B-shaped profile. It starts to look like a D-shaped profile where the value area is in the middle. So that's why I'm gonna wait and sit tight and watch what the market does. I want to see the hand of the smart money first. Okay, now what we can see is value is being built up here at the lows, but we are rejecting now. And right here, when I get my manipulation candle, this is my entry confirmation to go in long. Why? Because we can clearly see that we close back above the value area low right here, this yellow line. And this means that we can easily go towards the value area high on the opposite side of the volume profile. Again, this also lines up perfectly with our 1 to 2 target. Remember, we will go break even once we hit 1 to 1, and then the full target will be at 1 to 2. Okay, so let's play price. It does range right here, hits the 1 to 1, we go break even, and then we hit our final take profit. And look, the volume profile still looks like a very balanced profile. And this is exactly where the most amount of fakeouts are going to happen. Always look at the volume profile shape. If it's closer to the letter D, you will play the fakeouts, right? So basically, you will short at the highs and you will long at the tops. And this is exactly what I did right here. I longed at the bottom, but the entry trigger is when the manipulation candle closes back inside the value area. So now I will show you an example of a breakdown, and this is going to be a huge one. Again, what we always do is first things first, volume profile starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, drag it to the right, and then have it on extend to the right. Now, let's compare this example with the example before. Now we can clearly see that a lot of volume is being transacted at the low of this range, and this is lower volume at the top. It looks like a letter B, and this is exactly where you want to be short biased, but you always have to wait for the manipulation candle for the entry trigger. So right here I'm on a 10-minute time frame, and this is now going to be market open. So right here I'm getting a bullish manipulation candle, but I'm not going to long this. Why? First of all, I'm seeing a B-shaped volume profile and I'm in the middle of the value area. You don't take trades in the middle of the value area if you want to take high probability breakout and fake out setups. So what we will do is we will wait for the edges. We will wait for the value area low or the value area high. So let's play price. No entry trigger here, unfortunately. Otherwise, this would be already a really nice short. Now we are back at the value area low and we are still waiting for an entry trigger. And now I'm liking this more and more because we're starting to range at the lows. Right here, again, range and range. And what was our pillar? We want to see value build up at lows for us to take shorts. And you can see this exactly right here, how much volume is being transacted when we are going down. This is exactly what I want to see when I'm taking a breakout. This is your entry confirmation with the manipulation candle. And look where we are rejecting from. We are rejecting from the previous day's low, from the point of control, and we are also closing below the value area low. And this is a perfect example of a short and a breakdown, right? So right here, again, you know the drill. 1 to 1 is break even, and then 1 to 2 will be our final take profit. Okay, so now we are at break even. And right here, we hit the target to the T, and this is exactly how you can take high probability breakout setups. Always be aligned with the volume profile shape, and also wait for the value buildup. Wait for a range buildup. If the market wants to go in that direction, it will print you the manipulation candle. It will print that high volume node on the volume profile. You just have to be patient enough to wait for that to happen. If it doesn't happen, well, you will most likely save yourself a loss, because most likely the market will reverse and that move will end up being a fake out. So let's recap and take notes. We covered how to avoid fake outs. How do you avoid them? No value buildup at highs or lows, no trade. Okay. How to identify breakouts? Value build up at highs or lows. How do you trade the breakouts? If we close with a manipulation candle, we take the trade. If it's a long, we have a bullish manipulation candle. If it's a short, you will have a bearish manipulation candle. And how do we trade the fake outs? If we don't see any value being formed, for example, at the lows, we will look for longs with a bullish manipulation candle. If we see no value being formed at highs, we will wait for a bearish manipulation candle to take the shorts. So if you combine the volume profile with the manipulation candle, you will be able to get extremely high probability setups. And if you really want to dive deep into this, learn more about the volume profile and the manipulation candle, and get an exact step-by-step framework, the link to my school community is going to be in the description. You will get all my resources, the free MC indicator, the 36-page strategy ebook, and a complete free trading course. So if you want to join our school community, the link is going to be in the description.